Hello. So the time is like 8:30. Usually I wake up at 8, but today I'm kind of running behind. But thankfully I work from home, so it's not like it makes a major difference. Okay, so I'm gonna get my day started. I've just moisturized with a Fab 8 Ultra Repair Cream. Usually I'd be listening to a podcast right now. Right now I'm listening to Call Her Daddy, which has been great, but it's like really vulgar to the point where like sometimes it's not really a morning podcast. And then sometimes I'll listen to The Daily, but that's kind of rare because I don't know. I don't really like to listen to news in the morning. It feels a lot. And then if I miss David Dobrik's one, The Views, like usually I'll listen on the Monday anyways, but if I missed it, I'll listen to it right now. So since I work from home and everything's on video camera, right? I feel like everyone's doing that, but like I feel like I don't need as much makeup on, so that's also good, and that's also why I can probably wake up a bit later. So a little bit about myself. I'm going to my 4th year at a university in Canada, and so I'm working right now. I got this job by applying through just like their online application, so I've had some relevant experience in the same kind of industry, and also at like a bigger company in Canada, but not as global as the current company I'm working at. So yeah, that's kind of like the reason why I chose the company that I wanted to intern at, just because like not because I didn't enjoy my previous internship. It's just mostly because like I wanted to learn more about like a global company and how it impacts their operations. Specifically, I work in the marketing department, but it's not really like marketing. It's like working with agencies, making sure our creatives match what the legal needs are or legal changes are to like our briefs, making sure our training documents are correct for our visits and calls channel. And yeah, I think that's about it. It's basically like executing the visits and calls channel. I'm launching them for one of their biggest campaigns. Well, it is their biggest campaign, so that's definitely a lot of pressure, but I'm up for the task for sure. I never stray away from challenge. So I'm excited. I think my manager like gives me a lot of trust, and that's good, and I really appreciate that, because you know, if a manager doesn't trust you, you won't get much value out of the internship. And thankfully, like all the managers I've had do trust me. So I think that's really good. I think that's like something you really need to keep an eye out when you're searching for an internship, is like, well, yeah, when you're searching for an internship is like, when I go in for the interview, does it seem like the company will trust their interns, or are you gonna be treated like, you know, going to get coffee? Like in my life, I have never gotten coffee for someone, and I think like there are definitely jobs like maybe the executive assistant might have to help out, which is totally fine, because like, you know, you're working for extremely busy execs in companies. But I think like, you know, having an intern go get coffee as their job when they're trying to develop themselves says a lot about the company. I haven't had any friends who have had that experience, so I mean, maybe it's Canada, and I think in Canada it's a lot stricter the way interns are being managed, because like it's illegal not to pay them. I think like for some co-ops there's also like a dedicated not a teacher but like a counselor from the university who will come into the company and check in. So I think it's definitely way more structured. But then again, like I've also worked at like big companies, like Fortune 500 companies, so they kind of have to be very structured. Even people who like get hired through connections have to kind of go through an interview round. I'm sure the interview round maybe is like less serious, but they still have to go through the formality, which I think is like a good experience for them too. I don't really have anything against people who get in through connections, only because like I think that's just how the world works. I completely understand that's also like a form of systemic racism, and it's definitely unfortunate. And my goal, and I hope a lot of people's goal, is like once they get into this company, it's like what are you doing to make sure that the next generation also has access to get into the company as equal as you, and if not, like not equal, but it's more about like equity at that point, providing them the resources so that they can get in, which has to start from really young, because a lot of it is like, firstly you have to have summer's experiences, which I've had the opportunity to, and also the privilege to. I think it's a privilege to be able to take a unpaid internship. I think that's something that should be discussed. But yeah. Okay, so I've gotten ready, like face-wise, put on my makeup, enough makeup that the video camera won't catch any of my big flaws, and my eye bags. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm getting ready now. So even though I'm work from home, I like to make sure that I'm dressed comfortably, but also appropriately. Everyone in my office wears like t-shirts and stuff, so I think I might do that. Since I am vlogging, I might wear a bra, but usually I don't, if I'm being honest. Should I wear a bodysuit and a cardigan, or should I wear a t-shirt? Harry, should I wear a bodysuit and a cardigan, or should I wear a t-shirt? He doesn't care. He just doesn't care about me that much, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like he's falling out of love. I've decided I will be wearing a bodysuit because of you guys. Because I don't want to wear a bra, but I want to dress appropriately. So I will wear boyfriend jeans with a bodysuit. Are you okay, guys? Are you all good? Okay, so Aritzia. This is from Aritzia. I know, like when I first came to Canada, I was like, what is this store full of, you know, a certain, I don't know. It was just not my type. It's an intimidating store. I feel like they should work on that, honestly. The changing rooms, like, what is going on, sis? Like, why are there no mirrors inside the changing room? What if I was a dude? What if there was a creepy guy? I just don't think it's very inclusive. Like, it's too inclusive to the point where it's like you could see everyone. Like, I don't think that's appropriate. I don't know, man. I don't know. So yeah, how do we feel about Aritzia? Drop a comment, guys. Do you like, oh shoot. Do you like the Aritzia layout? Do you not? Do you just order online? Because I mean, same. I just order online. Also, their sizing, literally I'm a whale, which is fine, but what? I think there's something off. They need to communicate with each other, because that's just not it, you know? Okay, here's my bodysuit. I will show an outfit of the day, one sec. So this is the outfit of the day. This is the bodysuit I was talking about. It's meant to be like this. Like, I wish it wasn't actually. But anyways, these are American Eagle jeans. They're the curvy jeans, which are really small at the waist, but then really big at the butt, which I highly appreciate, because I think that's like the main problem a lot of women have in jeans. Because I'm not fully comfortable with my arms out, I am potentially gonna wear a cardigan. So this is what it will look like. It is from Madewell. Oh my god, I'm so sorry if it's shaky. I literally hate when YouTubers' videos are shaky. It gives me a headache. But anyways, yeah. This is the outfit, especially because we also turn on the AC to like, I don't know what the Celsius is, but our AC is on Fahrenheit. So it's like 68 Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is. Maybe I'll put it up here. Maybe I won't because I'm lazy. As I'm logging in, making sure that my email updates, I will usually go make a coffee. So come with me to my Nespresso machine. This is the most exciting part of my morning. But yeah. Coffee in the Christmas Starbucks cup, and then I'll fill it up usually up to here, and then just you can put the whole block in. Oh. And that was a big chunk of ice. And then I have to drink out of a paper straw because without turtles we wouldn't have any turtles. That's a Bretman Rock reference, Harry. Is that true? Yeah, it's his bio, it's his intro. Because without turtles, we wouldn't have any turtles. Oh my god, I just exposed ourselves. Look at our Popeyes meal. And that is how I gained 15 kg in a year. But it's okay, I've lost 10. I just have 5 to go. And you can definitely see it, okay? But yeah. Okay, my email has updated. Okay, so I have 55 minutes to do the other tasks that I've been given. Making sure that my to-do list is up to date. This is a disgusting angle. Usually my 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. is free. Usually during that time, I will spend doing the tasks that I was given last night, or just like making sure that everything's organized, so like getting my to-do list done. And yeah, so that's usually what I do for an hour. And then from then on, I usually have back-to-back meetings till like 4:30, sometimes 5, but very rarely 5. So till 4:30, I'll have meetings. Today I have a break at 11:30 to 12, so I'll probably make a smoothie then, and then 12 to 4:30 is back-to-back. One of them is really fun. One of them is actually with our agency that we use for marketing campaigns, and the visits channel specifically, and they're sending over a drinks kit. So I don't know what it will be, but I'll definitely film it. And I think it's just like for me to get to know them a bit better, and it's like a happy hour, so getting to know their team a bit better. So that'll be really exciting, because I think like that's something I really appreciate about North America is like they put a lot of time, or maybe it's Canada, they put a lot of time into making sure the interns like really understand the team, whether it be through coffee chats or whether it be through happy hours. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. But that is my day. I know, very busy, so I probably won't be able to film a lot because a lot of it like is private meetings. Some of it is kind of listening into presentations, so I might be able to show that, but then again, it's like company material. Another thing I wanted to add was that today is quite busy because tomorrow's Canada Day, and we're having the drinks tonight because it's Canada Day tomorrow. Even though tomorrow's Canada Day, I have 2 meetings with important people who are based in the New York office. So I don't really care for Canada Day. I'm not Canadian. I'm excited for those calls. I pretty much have the rest of the day as a vacation though, so from like 12:30 till 2 I am busy, but that's completely fine to me. Update on kind of what I've been up to. So tomorrow I mentioned that I have 2 big meetings, right? And both of them are actually coffee chats. So because they are at the exec level, and they're really high up. I really need to prepare for it. So these are the few questions I have had. I usually ask in all my coffee chats. So how has your career journey at this company been from start to right now? And then usually they'll give me like a background of like, you know, where they came from. Oh, so how did you kind of get into the company? Have there been moments where you were like, you know, shopping around to go to other companies? And if so, what's drawn you to stay here for so long, if they say they've been here for a long time? And if not, then usually I'll be like, oh, what have you learned so far from being here? So, yeah. And then what made you choose this company? What made you stay? What is your proudest project that you've worked on? What makes you a good leader? So tips on being a good leader. I think there's always very different ways people lead, and especially people who have been successful in that. There is a lot to learn, because I don't think leadership comes as like a natural thing, and you can definitely tell because there are some people who just aren't cut out for leadership, and there are some people who from the get-go like are very skilled in being a leader. So my meeting ran over by 30 minutes. I have 5 minutes to make my smoothie. This is the life of an intern. How do I? Oh, it's like not focusing. Okay. Almond milk. Oh. Greek yogurt. Oh, I do have bananas. Never mind. Almost freaked out. Okay. Blueberries, strawberries, frozen. I know, bad for the environment, but that's currently the state of my life. Okay. Bananas. I'm gonna take the ripest one, which looks like this one. Banana. Okay. Ew, why does my phone camera look dirty? Okay. Let me put you down over here. Cool, so the next meeting I have is a lunch and learn. It'll be pretty interesting. I might be a minute late. Never be late for your meetings, but this one's like a lunch, so I'm not too concerned, but I think I'll make it in time. Okay, my banana. The other day I was searching for frozen bananas. They're not a thing. I don't know why, but they're not. Although I feel like it would make my life way easier. Okay, here we are. Anyways, I'm smushing this so that it takes up like less area, because I overfill my smoothie bottles and I never learn. They always overflow. Strawberries and blackberries. Okay, one strawberry. There we go. Blueberries. Oh shoot. Okay. Greek yogurt. There's like, I just had a meeting with my manager and she was just helping me out on a meeting I have tomorrow. That's with like a really high up executive at the company I work at, which is a really good opportunity for me. I gave her the questions I'm gonna ask and learn more about from him. So she was really helping me out on that end. Ended early and I have a 10-minute break before my next meeting, which I don't think I'm like active. It's more like a presentation and I'll be listening in, so that'll give me some time to also multitask that you would have previously seen in this video. But yeah, still got a lot of meetings to go, but good meetings, productive meetings, so it's always fun for me. 40% alcohol, wow. And a Courage Core. And and instructions. So this is it. Take a screenshot if you want. But yeah, how cute. So the instructions say to get like a thermos. Oh my god, did I give you a headache? I'm gonna use my old cup that I have. I don't really think I'm gonna put any alcohol because it's 40%, which is a bit insane. Some ice cubes. Like, do I really? Yeah, that's good enough for me. If it's good, I'll get more. And another paper straw. So the happy hour is over. No alcohol intoxication because I didn't want to drink. But I am now watching Tati's video and I wanted to just film my reaction. But so Shane Dawson, who supposedly didn't know anything, wasn't involved, didn't help out, you know, wrote that really ugly, pathetic notes apology or whatever. Not even apology, but anyways. Tati is basically saying, no, he was actually highly involved. He offered to edit the Biossance video and he also offered to make the thumbnail, which is pretty heavily involved if you ask me, even as a friend. So I think she got manipulated by Jeffree. I feel like a lot of people can easily fall into that trap of being manipulated by Jeffree just because the way he holds himself is very much like, I'm barely human. You're just a peasant. I'm just going to go on my private jet right now because I can totally afford that. And I think another thing is like he always goes after every single person as much as he says he doesn't care, which I think is very intimidating because not a lot of people have money to counter sue someone, or like when you sue someone back basically. So I think it's very intimidating to go up against someone with money. I mean, that's just the reality of life. I feel like people watch him not because they like him, but because he's just such an interesting person. I mean, even if you hate him, you can probably admit that he's very interesting, and the way he holds himself, the lifestyle he has is very fun to watch. And I'm sure he also knows that. Like, he's not dumb, it's just I think he's like, there's really something wrong with him on the inside. So Tati is saying like she did hear the audio file, but she didn't feel like it was her place to speak on it or share someone else's story, which I completely agree with. Like, I saw Blair White's video and she was like, I just wanted to encourage them to come out and tell the story. And it's like, life just isn't that easy. Coming out as a victim is incredible and really helps other victims grow that confidence, and is like a first step to gaining and seeking the help that a lot of people probably need, a lot of victims that need help. But at the same time, like, there are a lot of people in positions where if they do come out and say that they have been a victim of sexual abuse, they might lose their position, they might be treated differently, and I think there's just a lot of anxiety that comes with that. So I don't think everyone needs to do anything. I mean, it's like their own life. I don't really think it's anything for anyone to speak on. So basically, Jeffree and Shane cut ties with her right after the situation and kind of left it. And Tati didn't really know what was going into Shane's docuseries, even though he like used her in the trailer. And even as a former friend, I think that's terrible. I felt really alone, and the night of the Tati Beauty launch was a really big deal for her because it felt like a sense of community, which I can only imagine. Like, imagine if all your friends are against you, already turned against you, and then you didn't know what was coming up because they had some content on you or text messages on you, and you constantly felt like they might blackmail you, and then the whole world is against you. The whole reason why everything happened, allegedly, is because Shane and Jeffree were supposedly jealous of James, which completely makes sense. I mean, Jeffree is very much competitive, but to the point where he will take very extreme measures to make sure he's on top. And I mean, that's what I think, at least. And then Shane, I feel like he's just insecure puppy that follows Jeffree. Like, it's really pathetic. So my final thoughts on the Tati situation, I think I'm gonna keep it very succinct because I don't really think this is something that drama channels, well, they can do what they want because it's their livelihood, but it's not my place to say anything. I think Tati is very strong
I think she's come forward with a lot of apologies that needed to be said publicly, just for the respect of the people, for example, Jackie Aina and James Charles. So I respect and admire that, because I think you can apologize in private, but if you publicly came for them, which she didn't really come for like Jackie, but I think a public apology is also great on top of that. And then I also think what she's doing, seeking legal counsel, is really incredible, because I think that's something that everyone seems to forget. It's like, oh, it's just drama. Like, no, it's also, you know, they have their own brand, it's their livelihood, it's their job. We don't know what else is going on. And then apparently Jeffree is a co-owner of Morphe, which definitely puts a lot of, like, it makes you think a lot about like all the promotions and also how involved James Charles is with Morphe. And then Morphe's also releasing hair, skin, nails vitamins, I think. So I think Jeffree definitely is way more heavily involved in the entire beauty community in a business sense than we ever thought. Something else she mentioned was Shane and Jeffree being very jealous of James Charles, supposedly. So I think that definitely makes sense. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think a lot of things are driven by ego, and this is one of those situations. Firstly, Jeffree wanted to continuously grow his following, whereas Shane kind of saw a slump for a bit before the docuseries, and then saw his opportunity, and then saw Jeffree as a role model, which is, it's just like an endless cycle of both of them fueling each other's ego, which is just like very, if it was for positive things, it would have been great, but it wasn't. It was out to ruin other people's livelihoods, and like, they viewed it as a piece of pie. If they have more, then I have less, whereas I don't really think social media following is a pie. I think like I am a follower of a few different people, and maybe they see each other as competitors, but I still follow each of them equally. So I think that's something very interesting. But I guess like when you spend money, you choose one. So I guess it is a competition in that sense. Saw an email from my manager, and I'm just helping her out on something quick, and then I'm gonna probably log off. I try to log off 5 o'clock. Okay, so Harry is cooking dinner, and I think this is going to be the end of my vlog. My 9 to 5, what I do, what I eat. Well, I haven't eaten yet, but that's on intermittent fasting. But yeah, that was a very interesting day for me. I think it was really different. But at the same time, like, every single one of my days look different, and I think that's why when you ask people like, oh, what does your day-to-day look like, no one really has a defined answer. But yeah, good luck on your internships and applications.